Oh my goodness, guys. Sorry, my video recording ran out. The app I have only lets me record 15-minute long videos. So we ended at K. So make sure that you watch that one, A through K, unless you want to start backwards. I guess then you're starting here for more here. Now, to keep us just rolling on with this alphabet, we left on a letter that I love, which is L. It's one of the funnest letters to make. Ooh, it's very loopy and doopy and fun to make in cursive. And the lowercase L is super easy. It's just from the bottom and loop around. So with our cursive L, I'm going to start here, and it's just one big fun motion again all the way through. That one is going to go straight up that way. Doing it up here. Super fun and around, and I'm just going to keep going up into that one. Do that as often as I can. L-M. All right. Whoop, whoop. Capital M. Starts at the top. Get a little hook in, a little lead in. Again, straight line. Down, down. M. Now, sometimes you'll see people put this M all the way down here like that when they come in. To me, that just confuses me a little bit. There's too many humps. But in order for it to be a cursive M, it does need the little lead in just like our K. M. And then the lowercase is just the same. M. So those are our M's. Coming in from up here and going all the way through. So I'm going to go ahead and do this. And then I'm just going to move right on to N. Making sure I got the good placement there. Because N, if you can guess, is pretty much just the same thing. It's just like, whoop, I don't even need to write them. You're going to do the same thing. It's just one hump. You're just going to start down and go down. I'm going to put that one a little bit further down. Same thing. Go down and then just one hump instead of the two. Go ahead and join them at the top. Put a big in into my little one. Just like that. O. And then I'm going to have to make a new line at the top. O. Starts up here, and then it hooks through if you were going to go add another letter to it. Same with lowercase o. It just starts in, around, and out. So our uppercase O is going to start at the top and hook back around before it comes out through to the next letter. Our other one, of course, like normal, because it's normally in the middle of a word. So it's got to have that lead in to it, typically. Coming over here to these O's. See if I can write it across the board. Give my best handwriting. Starting at the top and around. O. I'm going to smush this little O into there. Squished it in at the end. Quickly erasing. Because we are finally getting to that point that we didn't learn because we stopped after P. So L-M-N-O-P. This is our last letter we learned in class, guys. The P. I'm sorry if I'm a little sloppy getting this on there. I'm trying to be quick so we don't run out of time for that video like I just did the first time. All right. Got our line back on there. The best I got real quick. So P, put it up here first. Has a little slant up to the top, down, and then we come back up and then just hook it in. P. That's a little bit much I did there. If I was going to do it here, it's going to be a little bit smaller. I kind of got a little bit too. It's very little. It's not a whole lot of that letter. There I did it a little bit too much. But it's just to get you going to the next one, and the next word. That's our big P. Little P is going to be the same thing, except for sometimes it's like that D. Sometimes it'll have a hoop. Hoop there. So it could be like this if you just feel like coming straight down and out, just like the capital. Or you can get fancy, like I just said, come down, make a loop with it. Sorry for the squeaks. Either way, you're coming in from this way, and you're just one whole motion the whole time. Q, we're finally into a new letter Q. Are we all excited? I am. Okay, so for this Q, the uppercase looks nothing like a regular Q, but it does rhyme with what it looks like. And if you can kind of get what I'm putting, the rhyme is 2. Q looks like a 2 in cursive. Not the lowercase. The lowercase is looking like our normal Q, but it continues and comes in and out like that. It has an extra little hump. But this, and if I was going to do this, maybe a little bit more like that. Here we go. So this is our Q, kind of like that. I'll do it up at the top for you. I know Q is weird looking for ours, and I'm going to go right in to the lowercase, making sure our lowercase comes down just like P does, touches that bottom part. It's got to hang down. Now, kind of funky looking number 2 Q. You can kind of remember it that way. Going on to the R. R has a lead in kind of like P does, but he comes down, come back up, and then he rolls out that R. You can even put a little circle in the middle, kind of like you do for the E and the K, how it has that thing in between, the B. Then our lowercase r has just a little top. He comes in this way, and then he makes this shape kind of like that lowercase b that I said is a trickster. It's a tricky letter to make. He makes that one all on his own with no loop. So R, Q, R. Here. I went ahead and just connected them together, if you can see. And their whole motions go there, and then you just come right back up and go into your circle around. That one goes up. S. That is the letter of my first and last name, so I know it well. S kind of always looked to me like a music note, like one of those fancy music notes. It's not exactly, but it always made me think of it for some reason. Goes up, around, like that. My sister always said it kind of looked like a star, which it does, but it just doesn't come back. It doesn't have that little comeback, but it kind of looks like a star, which is a good thing to remember. Star for S. But it goes up, around, and in. And then our fancy under, or lowercase, undercase. What am I saying? Looks like one of those. I tried to make it extra fancy for you. If you're doing it, it comes up, and then it goes back and around like that. It doesn't have to have this loop at the top. You don't have to. I mean, sometimes it just happens, but it doesn't have to have that loop at the top. It's what our lowercase little s looks like there. I did it at the top because then I'm going to have to erase hopefully only one more time my letter at the top. My star like S, and I'm just going to keep it coming back in. And see, that's where it wouldn't have a loop. Whoop, right here, because it's just stopping at that point at the top up there, and then making our little fat belly and coming around of our S. So those are my S's. You ready? See, real quick. Can't be too quick though, because I made that last one pretty sloppy. I had to go back and fix it a little. Little line at the bottom, make sure I catch it, and some dots right in between so I know where my middle point is. There we go. That's all I do to make those. So if you just wanted to kind of make your own, do your best to be as straight as line as possible. That helps. That's a biggie. All right. So I'm going to make a T now because I just made my S. T has a fancy top. Then T comes down, and he has a little boop. He doesn't come all the way through, though, because then we're going to be looking at an F. He just has a little seat right on the outside. T starts off like an I, but instead of a dot, he needs to be crossed, of course. So T, fancy top, coming around, but he's not being crossed. And then there's that guy. U and V and W are all going to be pretty close. So I'm going to do them just right in a row. T, U, V, W, right there in a row. U, he's going to have a fat belly and come around like that. And his little one is the same. V looks the same, but he's pointy. He's a V. And his little one looks the same. Our W is going to look just like two of those U's, much like M and N. It just goes from the middle, whoop, whoop, and out. And the little one is the same. So I put 3 there, so I'll give you an extra second to look. Darn that glare, always. I'll try quickly to write them up here and not be too much in the way while you look. And I guess we can look in this W where I put the little midway point. I didn't go all the way up like the M where they all met that bottom line. The W, the middle one, stays on that dotted line. All right, since those ones were all pretty much the same, pretty simple. X, it looks like an X, but the way your hand's got to move is a little tricky. So X comes in and he just goes down that way, and then you got to come back and hook it like that. Big X and little x will be the same way. Come out and go that way, and you either have to hook them around that and come back, like you have to cross your eyes out your T, you also have to X your X, I guess. But then X, let me put this over a little bit more because it's starting to look a little sloppy. Goes down, hook it back. That's our uppercase, real simple. But then this X can either come into here, and like I said, you'll have to go back afterwards, cross your X, or sometimes if I was writing something where it came in from the top, maybe my X would come down this way. And what do I have to do? Cross it back over here like I did for my capital. So you got to watch your X's. It's really just that line, and then you cross it through. So it's simple to make, but kind of tricky when you're connecting all of your words together like we've been talking about. And it goes through, and it'll come back, or the opposite, it'll go through the top, come back, depending on if you're coming from the bottom of your writing or if you're coming from this midline in your writing, if that makes sense. All right, last one. I didn't make it quite all the way. I'm just going to make a shorty because I just have to make Y and Z here on that little tiny line over there. So Y, my big Y, he starts from the top and he just hooks around, and he'll be kind of fun like J does and hang down onto that middle line. Lowercase y looks just the same, but he's just small. So we're going to go up for that, and just that one right there. Last letter is Z. And that's it for Miss Sauer's quick review. Z's look the same, uppercase or lowercase. It just depends. It's like that A and things, how you write them. And the C, they're the same. They just look big or small. So our Z is going to either look big, and he's going to come down to that line and be extra big and sassy, that capital Z. Take up all that space, or he's just going to be small. Right like that. All right. That's it for these letters. Like I said, guys, this was just a quick set of videos I decided to throw together real quick with the idea to just kind of get you continuing to do the cursive writing. I'm going to keep this little file open and share some more links with you, share some more videos that help us practice. I hope that I see some pictures maybe shared, talk some comments on if you like the cursive writing, if you've been working on it at home, and maybe submit one of those writing pieces in a cursive handwriting picture. But I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you followed along. You guys have a great rest of your night, day, whenever you decide to watch this. Have fun at home. Miss you.